I'm excited to introduce the first lightning speaker, Breana Jones. Breana is definitely the first speaker we've ever had who was previously a TV news reporter. She has since worked at a number of media companies including Fox Digital, Disney, ESPN, and now Vice, where she is the director of web product. She's learned a lot about how to craft narratives, and we're excited that she'll be sharing her story with you.
So this lightning round is going to be building compelling narratives in product. So my name is Breana Jones, and I'm the director of web product at Vice Media Group. My background is in journalism, and for the last 6 years, I've worked in product management at a variety of media companies. So working in tech at a non-tech company requires you to rethink ways that you prioritize and communicate highly technical projects to your stakeholders. Stakeholders can be anyone from editors, writers, videographers, media executives, marketing teams. It really runs the gamut, even the audience itself. My goal is to bridge the gap between newsrooms and technology teams through collaboration and transparency. I found that the easiest way to accomplish that goal is to lean on my tricks of the trade from the newsroom in my product process. So once I was trying to create a deck to report to executives on a new product recently launched, and I didn't know where to start. I had all of the elements, data, insights, future iterations, but no idea where to just begin. My manager, Kamal, at the time asked me, "What's the story you're trying to tell?" And from there, it clicked. I've been to 6 years of journalism school. I know how to tell a story. And I've applied that thinking to almost everything I do in product, whether it's a one sheet, a PRD, road mapping. Ask yourself, what is the story you're trying to tell? So the first thing you want to do is you want to start with the problem. So my problem. Vice Media Group announced an initiative to unify newsrooms around the world to better reflect our global audience. So how does product help meet that goal? You want to start with the problem that is preventing it from happening. We identified 2 issues for us. The first is that content was siloed in multiple separate sites based on locale. And traffic showed that a portion of our audience wasn't visiting its local site, but instead was getting its news from a Vice site in another country. A great example of this is we found a significant portion of our UK audience would actually go to the US site to get all of that other news. The second issue is that our editors were moving towards quality content over quantity. And that meant for smaller newsrooms, it was getting more difficult to support a full site. And our siloed system meant that all of our editors had to translate same language content, and it was taking up a significant amount of their work hours. Identifying the right problem helps you get to the right solution. Once you have both, always center them in your story. So there are 2 ways to do that, and both have the same heart. First, we have the inverted pyramid. With the inverted pyramid, you start at the top with your most important information, and then you head all the way down to your nice to know. So the inverted pyramid is a pre-Civil War storytelling device. It was invented by the Associated Press, and it's something we call kind of a wire service style of news. It allowed for very quick editing if you had space that you needed to get rid of. And if you know the kind of phrase, bury the lead, don't bury the lead, this is where that comes from. Your most important information is at top, and then you go down to your nice to know and your least important information. At V&G, our documentation starts with the problem, a proposed solution, and the metrics we're going to track for success. This is all at the top of our documentation. And we're using the inverted pyramid here. You want to use this for internal storytelling, such as documentation, anything that is going to kind of center the story and let you guys focus on that. It's really great for collaboration, goal setting, kind of archival for if you need to come back to something in 18 months. This is really great for those opportunities. So the second storytelling device is called the Nut Graf. This was invented by the Wall Street Journal in the 1940s as a more creative way to tell stories outside of kind of the who, what, when, where, why. The Nut Graf is the nucleus of your story. If you were to get to this paragraph in an article and no longer read anything else, you would know exactly what it was about and what is to come. It lets your audience know why they should care. It's both a summary and an incentive to continue reading. So this can be used to create external storytelling for stakeholders, for partners, any kind of presentation where you need to hook somebody, grab them, and get them on your side. So product and engineering is just a piece of the puzzle at Vice Media Group. We have 5 lines of business and dozens of departments within each, all working towards the same goals. We have TV production, editorial desks, marketing, film production, events. It doesn't matter how efficient we are as a product team, how agile, how good we are, if our department goals don't align with the company's business goals at large, if they don't align with the company's mission. So previously, Vice's code base was a platform-driven stack, built to support a variety of websites with a similar UX and CMS. It was all super fragile, and it caused a lot of issues with very regular releases. Now, our goal was to build one flexible, fast site that can be quickly iterated on. But we had all of this tech debt, and we needed the time and resources to address it. So we have our action item. How do we get stakeholder buy-in to address? Our product problem is that we need to kind of sexy up a super technical, unsexy project. And our solution was to build a narrative that'll fit into the company-wide goals. So we took a look at the company's goals and we aligned them with our need to clean up our fragile code stack. Vice Media Group's goal number 1, engagement. And we knew that removing tech debt would lead to a faster and more usable site. So we measured our site performance projects with specific KPIs, and we tracked audience engagement in relation to the performance releases. We were able to establish that an improvement in meaningful paint leads to an improvement in page views per session, new users, all of the stuff we care about. The second important thing is we tied our tech debt project to a company-wide initiative. So in June, Vice launched Vice World News, which is a global news initiative. And this launch coincided with the first page template that was built in Next.js using a brand new component library. By breaking a project up into manageable pieces and tying it to company initiatives, we were able to chip away at tech debt while keeping stakeholders happy with our increased ability to release new features faster. You can see my little inverted pyramid there. So remember that everything is a story. You want to use these 3 steps to utilize storytelling at every level of the product process. Think of it as a target. You want to start with the problem. It's the outer ring. It encompasses everything you do. Next, you want to align your story within the company story at large. This is a little bit closer, and it's about your business within the larger business of your company. And then finally, you want to build a narrative. Now, this is about your specific department or your team within the larger org. What is your narrative? What are your goals? How do they align with the company? And remember, they should always start with the problem. So the next time you find yourself sitting down to start a roadmap, ideate on a new feature, or presenting to external and internal stakeholders, ask yourself, what story are you trying to tell? So I want to leave you with this last little tidbit. When I was working in local broadcast journalism, I had a show producer, Randy, who gave me one of the best pieces of advice ever. I was struggling to finalize a script for a TV package, and he said, imagine your mom called you right now, and you had to tell her what was happening. What would you say? So explain it to your mom. We are responsible for the simplicity of our product story, and we build very complicated products, but that story should always be simple. Be sure that you own it.